Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson. I'm Drew Carey.
It's going to be a great show, isn't it? Are you okay there, Jim? Are you? Oh, uh-oh.
I'm practicing my dance. Oh, hey, it's Drew Carey. What happened to my... I was doing a little break dancing. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is George Gray, the announcer from The Price is Right.
And the one, the only Drew Carey, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I was practicing my Dancing with the Stars moves. Yeah, in case you're watching at home and you had the volume down, which I know a lot of you do, you're probably wondering, hey, did Craig get younger and better looking? No.
Hey now.
That's not what happened. It's an April Fool's gag. I'm filling in for him tonight. I'm hosting the whole show tonight by myself. Tomorrow morning, he's going to be on The Price is Right. And we got a great show for you tonight. Carl Reiner, Connie Schultz, Joan Jett, and the Blackhearts are here. We'll be right back.
By the makers of Zyrtec. Zyrtec, muddle no more. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the Fred Astaire of my ginger, your host, Drew Carey. Come on down.
Nice to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, 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 thank you. Thank you, thank you. Have a seat, have a seat. Getting a standing ovation. Getting a standing ovation. Thank you, thank you. Hey. Thank you. Man, he's hyped up crowd. They think I got cars to give away. I'm so very excited to be hosting the Late Show tonight because growing up, I always wanted to be a talk show host. Then something happened to me, success. Got in the way of the talk show host track, but today's April Fool's Day, officially, after midnight. This April Fool's prank was Craig's idea. He called and said, hey, I'll host your show if you host mine. And I was like, you got a show? And I was shocked, right, George?
I was just as shocked as you were.
We were both as shocked. This show has some great hosts before me. Craig Kilborn, Craig Ferguson, now me. It's because CBS has a rule that this slot is only filled with lesbian haircuts. So, yeah. Later on, future guest hosts will be Patton Oswalt, Billy Idol, Pete Rose, and Rachel Maddow. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Not only is it April Fool's Day, on this day, 10 years ago, Google announced their free email service called Gmail. Sadly, news hasn't reached your parents yet because they still use AOL. Maybe they'll see it an update on their MySpace page or iVillage or whatever they're using. Hey, I saw Noah over the weekend. There's a new movie called Noah. Not as good as the book. I asked a friend of mine to go with me. I go, you want to see the movie Noah? And he goes, don't tell me anything about it. But here's a little advice if you're going to go see that movie. Don't order a large soda if you're about to watch a 2.5-hour movie about water. It's no fun. For all you people that aren't Bible readers or don't know the story, Noah, he had a bunch of sons. Japheth, Ham, and Shem, Mo, Curly. One of the big Bible things happened to Noah is he had a son named Ham, and Ham saw him naked once in his tent, and he put a curse on Ham. That was a big thing. Last time Ham saw me naked, I was kicked out of Subway.
Hey now!
Last time Ham saw me naked, I was at William Shatner's house. Hey!
What?
Last time Ham saw me naked, I was auditioning for Mad Men. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Clinton recently posed for a picture in L.A. with two women who turned out to be prostitutes. Turns out they're not very smart. That can not only damage your reputation, but you can get exposed to a lot of diseases. So be more careful next time, prostitutes. There's a minister in Colorado that says the Disney movie Frozen is encoded with secret messages to turn children gay. I don't know if it's true. I only had sex with 2 guys after I watched the Smurfs. Doesn't make me gay. Keith Richards is writing a children's book. Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, children's book. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called Green Eggs and Whiskey. Horton hears a hallucination. 1 pill, 2 pills, red pill, blue pill. The pokey little needle. Good Night Spoon. I think it's called Good Night Spoon. Oh, the places you'll snort. There's a toy company is releasing a line of Barbie dolls that look like regular women, which is awesome. Maybe now they'll get the Man Boobs Ken. If you're wondering what Man Boobs Ken is going to look a little something like this. And I see, there it is, Man Boobs Ken. That's of course with the clothes on. If you want to know what it looks like, the clothes off, like this. There you go, there he is. You want to know what kind of babes naked Drew Carey doll gets? Boom, there you go. That's right. CBS made us put underwear on the dolls.
No!
There's a lot of perverts watching TV late at night. As you know, I'm a contestant on Dancing with the Stars. I don't know if you know this, but I've been studying dancing for years, but none of it is helping me out on this show because they don't use poles. Between Dancing with the Stars and The Price is Right, I'm seen by 15 million people a week. You add this show to the mix, 15 million people a week. And I don't want to push Dancing with the Stars too much because on another network. Because while it's on, you can still flip over to CBS. They got 2 broke girls. It's my second favorite CBS show to masturbate to. Number one, 60 Minutes. Speaking of 60 Minutes, that's all we got. We have a great show for you tonight. Reiner's on the show. Connie Schultz and Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. We'll be right back, folks. Drew Carey, guest hosting the Late Late Show. Glad you could join us. George Gray, what time is it?
I'll tell you what time it is, Drew. It's time for emails and tweets.
Yes. Craig always has a jingle to start out the thing. I don't want to take his jingle. Do we have a jingle of our own?
You know what? We worked very hard on this one, and yeah, I think everybody's going to like it. Check this out. Listen to it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Stop and cover and don't look back. Here comes an email and Twitter attack. Giant freaking monsters crushing our city. It's a jumbo lizard ranking committee. So grab your Reagan and your rocket back and join the email Twitter attack.
Wow.
Did you say? Did you say we worked really hard on that?
Stupid interns.
Yeah, sorry. That was a kid in his basement made that for us. Thank you, Toby. Kid named Toby in his basement. First email is from a guy named Rich in St. Clair, Missouri. Hi, Rich. How you doing? Dear Drew, how in the world did you and Craig meet? Christian mingle.
Now, I had actually heard that it was on J-Day.
No, it was Christian mingle.
Oh, okay.
Christian mingle. He's my second chance. I wonder if those two are still together for the Christian mingle commercial.
A lot of road miles on that one.
Yeah. Quit clinging to me. Hey, next email is from Sarah in Orlando, Florida. Dear Drew, are you going to steal anything from Craig's set to take back to The Price is Right? No, we only offer valuable prizes on The Price is Right. I mean, not, you know. I might leave my initials on the desk or something. This is from Kathy from Medford, Oregon, just north of the California border, Medford, Oregon. Dear Drew, how does the Late Late Show audience compare to the Price is Right audience in the studio? I don't know, let's go to the tape. And here's the Late Late Show audience. Very similar. Very similar.
Uncanny.
Very similar. This is from Janice in Orano, Maine. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Maine. Dear Drew, is your relationship with George really close, or are you fake TV friends? We get along great. We always we go to each other's house. We go to parties together, right, George?
Yes, sir.
No, we've been to the movies together. And
Absolutely. You couldn't be more right about any of that.
I mean, you know. This is from Iris in Duluth, Minnesota. Hi, Iris. She sounds like a diner waitress. Hi, Iris. Dear Drew, what's the strangest job you've ever had? I mean, besides spinning a wheel for a living and dancing on stars or answering emails from fans, I was a busboy. Strangest job I ever had.
For me, I think it's filming for a gay robot. I
was a gay robot. Yeah, I was a gay robot for a while. We'll be right back with Carl Reiner, everybody. My first guest, I'm so pleased he agreed to do the show, is American comedy legend. I'm such a big fan. This is his latest book called I Just Remembered. It's in stores April 22nd. Please welcome Carl Reiner. Welcome to the show, man.
I'm so excited to be here. I can't tell you.
I love this picture. Look at that. Here's young Carl Reiner, man. Look at that. You look great. I mean, still great.
You know, I had that hair for many years until I decided to shave it.
You just turned 92 years old?
Yesterday.
Yesterday? Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yesterday.
We're taping the show a little early, so I hope that's a true statement. Your health seems good. You seems healthy.
Well, knowing I was coming on the show, I wanted to be healthy. So I went Wednesday and had an endoscopy.
What's an endoscopy?
An endoscopy is where they put something down your throat to look in your stomach to see if there are no pits or stones in there. And they found nothing. And I'm so happy. The only thing that I say that when they put that down, it ruined my voice. It don't sound like myself. Usually I can sing Pagliacci, recitar mentre preso dall'elir.
Nice.
I can still do it.
Sounded good to me.
As a matter of fact, there's an improvement. They did something good.
Now I got to ask you, like, someone always want to ask you. You and Mel Brooks had this thing going on. How long have you guys been friends?
60 years now.
60 years. You did 2,000 Old Men and stuff. Now you used to do this thing at parties, right?
Yes.
How do you have a Hollywood party where they say, "Oh, settle down, everybody. We're going to do a sketch now with the two"? How does that go?
No, that happened very accidentally. It was at Sid Caesar's. The first day I worked for Sid Caesar, there was a Mel Brooks who was a friend of Sid's. He was not working there yet. He was standing up, and I didn't know who he was, but he was doing a Jewish pirate.
Mel Brooks doing a Jewish pirate?
Yes. And he was complaining. He says, "You know how difficult it is to set sail today? What they're charging for sailcloth? $3 a yard." He says, "I can't afford to pillage and rape anymore." Anyway, first words heard out of him. The next day, I came back and I saw a thing called We the People Speak, where they recreated the news. And I decided that'd be a good sketch. And it didn't go, but I turned to Mel and I said, "Here's a man who was actually at the scene of the crucifixion 2,000 years ago. Isn't that true, sir?" And he said, "Oh, boy." That's all he said. He said,
Funny.
"Jesus, thin lad, right? He wore sandals, walked around with 12 other guys. They always came into my store, never bought anything." By the way, that was the first, and for the next 10 years, from 1950 to 1960, every party we went to, every place we went, they said, get up, do that. Now, I asked them questions that I never knew what the answers were going to be. Most of the time, I've been roaring with laughter, but I had to know what the next answer was going to be.
So if you were throwing a party between 1950 and 1960,
Yes.
and you're going to, like Carl and Mel,
Yes.
like, tell her, hey, Carl and Mel's going to be there. I'm sure
Well,
they're going to do this.
it became that. It
Yeah.
became like Billy Rose and Big Alan J. Lerner. They gave parties so they can have us get up and entertain. You know, like when Mozart was a kid.
Did you get like nervous doing, like, knowing you had to perform at these parties? or
No,
just-
no. It was, for me, it was entertainment because I enjoyed hearing it. But the thing that was so interesting, 10 years we said it's only for our Jewish friends and non-anti-Semitic Gentiles, because the Jewish accent was persona non grata 4 years after the war. You know, the Jewish
I didn't know
accent-
that.
Oh, yes. And so we only did it for friends. And it was at one of these A-list parties where 3 people came over to us. First, George Burns, and says, is that on record? And we said, no. He says, put it on record. I'm going to steal it. Edward G. Robinson, the old great actor, said, I want to play the 1,000-year-old man Broadway. Make a play out of it. I want to play I said, it's 2,000. I can play any age. I remember saying, and the third guy, bless his soul, was the great Steve Allen.
Steve Allen was one of the first like late night show hosts. For all you kids that are watching.
Well, Steve was one of these guys who wanted to present comedy to people.
Yeah, yeah.
He said, fellas, I have a studio, World Pacific Jazz. If you go with your friend, the two of you, and just wail for whatever you want to do, you own the record. He didn't want to have anything to do with it. He just wanted to get it out.
Wow.
We took friends for 3 hours. We wailed, cut it down to 47 minutes, and it became the 2,000-year-old man.
Wow, that's amazing. They did a party. So Sid Caesar, I want to talk about Sid Caesar. That's how you met Mel Brooks, was through Sid Caesar. Sid Caesar just passed away, God bless him, and he was one of the thank you. One of the originators, I first met you on Larry King. We were talking about Sid Caesar.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's what we met.
That's where we met. And Sid Caesar is one of the greats of American television. Mr. Sketch Comedy, pretty much, right? And
made the-
Saturday Night Live, all that stuff is from Sid Caesar. He was one of the greatest, and he recently passed away. Can you tell us about Sid Caesar? Any memories you have of him?
Well, many, many, many. It was actually 7 years with him, and standing this close to him and seeing him work, it was a gift. First of all, he was the most talented human being I've ever met. Sketch comedy, nobody ever did sketches like Sid, but he could do any accent, But I remember two things. There was a thing called Stanislavski method,
right,
where they did sense memory. Sense memory was picking up something and giving it heft, giving it weight, like if you... Now, this is... One day we're doing that. Sid is doing pantomimes, and we say, open a jar of olives that's difficult to open. See if there's any fun in that. And he picks up, you know, a piece of air, and he starts trying to open it. And we said, there's nothing funny there. And so he stops, and all of a sudden we're laughing. And he said, what are you guys laughing at? I said, you don't know what you just did? He said, what did I do? What did I do? What he did was, when we said stop, he had the lid off in his hand, sense memory. And he didn't know it. He was thinking about now the next moment he's going to think of something, but the lid was in his hand. He, without knowing it, he closed the jar and he put it down. He put it on the table. He got it out of it. He switched. He closed the door, switched hands, and put it on the table.
Oh well.
And
Sorry
that's
about the olives.
memory.
That's the greatest. Honestly, I wish I could talk to you all night long. I wish I had a whole hour. We're out of time. I really appreciate you coming on the show.
My pleasure.
Paul Reiner, everybody. Is a Pulitzer Prize winning columnist. Pulitzer Prize winning. How about that? Her work appears in papers all across America. She's also a regular essayist for Parade magazine. A fellow Clevelander. Please welcome Connie Schultz, everybody. We got the Price is Right models. That was the beautiful Manuela Arbelais, and we had Amber Lancaster.
Like having all of our daughters around. We have 3 daughters around their ages.
How about that? Do they all dress up?
All like that every day. Every single day.
The senator allows that?
Yeah, the senator has no say.
The senator has no say. Connie is famously married to a senator from Ohio, Sherrod Brown.
Yes.
What's that like? Because you're a columnist and you have an opinion of your own. And
Yes,
you have this
thank you for saying that.
Yeah, and like, you know, then you have this senator guy in the House.
Well, people often ask me what it's like to be married to a senator, and I can only tell you what it's like to be married to Sherrod. And, you know, I have a lot of fun with Sherrod, so I'm not going to get into the details on that. I just realized how that sounded.
Well, you know, he's a Democrat, so it won't matter.
Oh.
Your audience is going to forgive you no matter what you say.
That's
now, you
right.
guys met when you wrote a column about him when he was a...
No. I never interviewed him. He hates when I say this, but it's true. If I'd ever interviewed him, I would never have gone out with him. I never covered him. I had just started. I was at the Plain Dealer in Cleveland.
Right,
you know
right.
that, your hometown
There's
newspaper.
a little paper called the Cleveland Plain Dealer,
Largest
folks.
paper in the state of Ohio.
Yeah, it's a little paper.
And I had just started writing a column for him after being there for 8 years, and he sent me an email, totally sucking up.
Oh, I thought it was about him.
No, I know you would think that because it's a politician, but it really wasn't. It wasn't about him at all. It was, I think, about my dad's lunch pail, because I had written about, my first column was that I come from the working class.
Right. Me too, yeah.
And my dad worked for CEI, Cleveland Electric Company.
I come from the part-time working class, actually.
Oh. Well, you grew up in Old Brooklyn, right?
Yeah.
And I grew up in Ashtabula, a little town east of Cleveland.
Yeah.
So,
That's like if you're from LA saying you grew up in Covina.
It is not. Where was I? Oh, anyway.
How you met Sherrod Brown?
So I had written about my father's lunch pail because I wish he could find it. It was when he had just left the CEI, and I wanted it because I wanted to have it next to my computer because I was the first in my family to go to college.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, so that's what Sherrod was reading, but it wasn't about him.
Oh, I thought that. And now, what did you tell your girlfriends? Like, oh, this senator guy, this congressman guy wrote me.
Well, I've been a long-time single mom for about 10 years. He'd been a single dad for 18, and when I first got an email, I sent it to my best friend, Jackie Casera, and she read it, and she sent me an email, and she says, honey, this is my horse, and he's going to win. And,
Really?
we married less than 2
Was
years
it a kind of
later.
email like, hey, let's get together. I'm a big fan of you. We'll go out. and have
No,
fun."
not at all. He just said,
Hey,
"We're the-"
baby, I'm a senator. Was that the?
Yeah, actually, you've never met him, have
No, I
you?
never
Yeah,
met
yeah. Let me just say, your hair's a lot neater than his. Your whole thing is a lot
I've totally
neater.
seen pictures and stuff.
Yeah, so no, he wasn't like that at all. But he compared me to a writer that I wrote nothing like.
Who's that?
Barbara
Who's the-
Kingsolver. I love her,
Oh,
but I
really?
don't write
Oh,
like her. Yeah.
really?
Well, here's what I loved
Barbara
about
Kingsolver he
it.
compared you to?
Because he had just read a book because of his daughters. But here's
the
what I loved
Poisonwood
about
Bible?
it. Yes,
Yes.
we just both just read that book. You've read that?
Yeah, I'm a Barbara Kingsolver fan.
I
How
am
about that?
impressed.
That's right.
But here's what he did. He signed it. You'll appreciate this, because you know how we are, our
Yeah.
people. We don't want a lot. You don't like a lot of show and flim flam. All he wrote was Sherrod Brown, Lorraine, Ohio. He didn't sign that he was a member of Congress.
Oh,
I
well,
knew who he was.
Hey, one more election, boom. You never know what's going to happen in the politician business.
You keep hoping.
No, he's great. I'm a really big fan of his.
Thank you.
Now,
Me
this is
too.
from Cleveland. I want to show you this guy. Remember this guy?
This was the guy, my mom said, if you know any boy who watches the show, you can't date him. That's who
Really?
that guy is, the ghoul.
Yeah, this guy, his name was The Ghoul.
He was great.
Yeah, he was a late movie show host in Cleveland, Ohio. He hosted a late night movie show.
In the early 70s.
Yeah, and there was a guy named Goulardi that was right before him.
Right, who came out this way.
Right, and we're about the same age. So like
Yes, we are.
our older brothers and sisters watched Goulardi. We watched The Ghoul.
Yes.
Goulardi ended up moving out here. The Ghoul took over. Crazy, right? You would always watch.
Do you remember what he did with the frog? He would
Yeah.
he'd do these crazy things with a stuffed frog. Now, think about this. I'm a teenage girl, and I like scary movies because my mom, but we're watching it. He would take this stuffed frog, put it in a blender. Do you remember that?
Yes.
With the and then act like he's chopping it up. Isn't that hilarious? And you loved him, didn't you?
I love The Ghoul.
See,
I love The Ghoul.
you could see kind of how we turned out the way we did.
Is
You
it
know,
true?
that's how we grew up.
Now, is it true we went to Kent State at the exact same time?
We did, and I don't think we ever met. But you were a
No.
Greek guy, right? You were in a frat.
I was in a fraternity. Well, the fraternities at Kent State were like there was 16 people in my fraternity. That was the most we ever got up to.
But you
it wasn't
started
it wasn't a big scene.
Fall of '75, right?
Yeah.
I heard that's when I started, and I
Wow.
was editor of the Daily Kent Stater before I left. So we were not crossing paths because I was a journalism.
No. Did you cover any of the?
Oh, yeah, every year.
The tear gas thing. I got tear gas while I was at Kent State because Kent State is where the horrible shooting happened in 1970. So
Right.
This is 75, only
Right.
5 years later, but it seemed like an eternity at that age.
Weren't you?
You know?
Were you scared at all about? Did your mom have any concern about you going to Kent State, having been a place where they had shot kids?
No, because it was 5 years ago, and that when you're 18 years old, that's like when you were 13. It's forever ago.
Were you the
know?
first in your family to go to college?
No, my older brother went to college.
Okay.
He did a little better than I did. I was thrown out twice.
I know. I wasn't going to bring that up.
You got a degree in journalism, right? And all that
Yes,
stuff.
yeah.
My first year at Kent State, I got academically dismissed.
What happened?
I never went to class. I partied all the time. You never went to Ray's Place, the Loft.
I went to Ray's Place. I
The
went to
Loft, all those places.
I studied though too.
No, I never did that. And then I went back to school, got kicked out again, academically dismissed again.
What happened that time?
Just partied all the time, I was gonna go to class, but then I got high. Then I got high. Da-da-da. That was like that the whole time I was in school. I never had a drink. Never had a drink, anything before I went to college.
Oh,
and
so
then
you kind of-
by the first month, I was like, that was me all over the place. And Kent State, do you remember MMS? They used to play those songs.
Well, I understand we have a different memory of this. I always remember Bruce Springsteen coming on Fridays at
I was
5
on
o'clock.
Friday at 5 o'clock. That's exactly
right?
what happened, yeah.
Out in this, this is great. In the warm weather, this is college, right? This is
Yes.
Kent State. But I remember the enrollment at Kent State was bigger than my small town population. Scared out of my mind when I first started there.
Really?
Yeah. But there's Bruce Springsteen, and we would put the speakers out the windows, remember? And what
This
dorm did you
this
stay in?
radio station would play these songs like at 5 o'clock. They'd play 3 songs in a row, and every kid in the world in that area would just put their speakers in the window and
Yep.
blare it.
Yep.
Hey, listen. Sorry, I'm seriously we got to do this really quick, okay?
What?
Now, because I'm the host of Price is Right, and you're
Yes,
our
I know, I
guest,
heard,
right?
yes.
Well, everybody in the audience has a name tag on.
Yes.
I have my name tag right here.
Why aren't you wearing
This
yours?
is my
'Cause I
name
had
tag.
to wear mine.
This is mine. I'll put it on right now.
Thank you.
Now, we have a little pricing game for you to play while you're here. You up for that?
I
Since you're on the
am.
show? We have a little pricing game? George, what are we going to play for?
Well, Drew, right now here comes the beautiful Rachel and Manuela with tonight's fabulous prize that everybody in the audience has a shot for. It's the Tassimo T47 Home Brewing System, featuring a telebrew, beverage in about a minute. Could be less, could be a little more. Enjoy lattes, cappuccinos, and hot chocolate in the comfort of your own home with the Tassimo T47. How can a clam, cram, cream, and a clean cream can with this fabulous brewing system?
Thank you, George. And along with the coffee maker, now, if you get this right, everybody in the audience is going to get this. Everyone in the audience is also going to receive 2 varieties of T-Disc coffee packages.
This is
2 varieties
so
of T-Disc coffee
unfair.
packages. Everyone in the audience, you'll get one. Everyone in the audience gets it. We say that this is $150. Is the actual retail price higher or lower than $150? Lower? Are you sure? Are you sure it's lower?
Wait. I have a question.
Yes.
So, if most of the people are holding their fingers up, is that right? Your thumbs up? Then I get to blame you if I... Oh, no, you're not?
What do you think?
Lower.
Lower. It is lower. Everybody gets a coffee maker. Thanks to Connie Schultz. We'll be right back with Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Star. You can see her live on tour right now. Here performing Any Weather off her latest album called Unvarnished. It's on vinyl, yo. Please welcome Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Oh my God, that was great. Thank you, Joan Jett. Oh, we need to take a break. We'll be right back. We're going to talk to Joan right after this. Don't go away. That was amazing. That was great, man. Thank you. Just performed Any Weather from this album right here. Boom, let's plug the album again. Boom, there you go, Any Weather. That was great, man. That was great. And then during the break, we were playing I Love Rock and Roll. You're up dancing, and the crowd, that never gets old, right? It's got to be the greatest feeling in the world.
No, it is.
To have so many hits in your pocket.
Well, I'm blessed with that, but having the audience respond to music like that, it's why you do it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's why you do it. It's a release. It's a connection. It's something that everybody can relate to, whether it's happy music like I Love Rock and Roll or something maybe a little sadder. You know, still people have all those experiences.
Yeah, man, you're great. And I've seen you in concert. You're great in concert.
Thank you.
Really fun show. Now, I just look at these stupid notes I have for you. I didn't know you played. I thought I knew everything about you, by the way. You played clarinet when you were a kid?
I did for a little while.
What happened to the clarinet?
Well, I guess it was the way it was presented to me. I didn't like it, you know. I think my father kind of ordered me to play it.
It sounded really dirty. I don't know why.
It wasn't.
They should have just handed it to you.
It didn't come from me, you know. I think it was a parental wish. My father wanted me to do something, you know, classical.
Well, nothing wrong with guitar, man.
Yeah,
Were they like disappointed when you were in the Runaways and all that stuff because you didn't play the clarinet?
No, my mother was very much a part of getting us together, driving us to rehearsals, talking to the other mothers, and
in my head,
okay.
when the Runaways were hot, in my head, the parents weren't around.
Yeah. And they weren't for the most part. You know, after we got a little bit older, we had some kind of chaperone on the road, and they weren't really around except for when we were rehearsing in Los Angeles. But
it was really nice to meet Kenny Laguna. How long you and Kenny been working together?
Since 1979, since right when the Runaways broke up.
Wow, man,
Yeah.
forever. Now, you do a lot of USO tour. We met before when I was doing a USO tour, and it was in Oman, right?
I think
Is that
so.
what it was?
That or Turkey.
It had to be, yeah. It was one of those things where somebody's bringing her in on a truck, and I was going out on a truck.
Yeah, we were coming out, and you were going in.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
weird.
There was a little storm.
You
and
do
we
a
got
lot of
stuck.
you do a lot of USO stuff. You never get scared or anything doing though, right? I think they're pretty.
I think it's so surreal that it's hard to get scared. I mean, I just have not had the experience of being afraid yet. But
Never
I mean,
been afraid.
certainly in certain situations where if you were sane, you should be afraid.
Yeah, you're in war zones and you're in an Apache helicopter or Black Hawk and there's Apache helicopters taking you around, but you don't feel, I feel safer than when I'm in LA.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, and you're surrounded with our troops, and they are very capable, and so you feel safe, you know.
Now, I want to ask you really, like, you got your style, you got great style, and I always heard it was from Suzi Quatro, but it's not, right? You got it from T-Rex and all those guys in London.
Well, I think it was a combination, because I went to a club called Rodney Bingenheimer's English Disco.
He's really famous in
Very
LA.
famous, yes.
Yeah.
And he played all the hot music that was big in Britain that kids here never heard. David Bowie, T-Rex, Slade, Suzi Quatro was one of them, and she was like the only girl.
Yeah.
And so I obviously related to that. But yeah, I think I took, it was a, you know, a mishmash of all those.
Because I have, like, here's a picture I have, like, if you don't mind. Here's you. There's Suzi Quatro. And there's my other favorite chick rocker, John Bon Jovi. Yeah, it was either him or the guy from Cinderella. Hey, Joan Jett, everybody. Joan Jett. That's our show, folks. I wish we had more time. I want to thank my friend Craig Ferguson for letting me host the show. Thanks for letting me take over the desk, buddy. We have Paul Reiner on the show, Connie Schultz, and of course, Joan Jett, the Blackheart. George Gray, the beautiful Price is Right models. Rachel, Amber, Manuela. Be sure to check out Craig tomorrow morning on The Price is Right. Good night, everybody.